Welcome back. Help will be on the way from the federal government as FEMA has approved a federal disaster declaration for 22 counties in Minnesota, but more would like to be added to that list. So how soon, what comes next? Join us now is Representative Angie Craig. Put on a lot of miles this week, seen some of this flooding firsthand for yourselves, including you're going to see more today. Talk to me about what has really stood out compared to what you've seen maybe in years past.
Well, let's start with Waterville down in LeSueur County. We haven't seen anything like this in a very long time. Homes underwater, literally you can't get to your house except into a canoe. And I just want to say to the county of LeSueur, the city of LeSueur, what a great community coming together. The sandbagging operation that has happened in that community, I know we've had some help in the recent days, but that community has just been outstanding. Northfield as well, Rice County, you've got the Cannon River there, and you got businesses literally pumping water continuously out of their basements, trying to stop that water going in. And the FEMA declaration will help in those two counties, LeSueur and Rice County especially.
Absent from the list, Washington County, Stillwater, which a lot of people were surprised at.
Yeah.
There's still a chance that they could be added to the list, and how does that process work out?
Well, I think Washington County will be added to the list. I was out at Great Cloud Island yesterday, Cottage Grove in Washington County, which is in my congressional district, touring and looking at the debris that's had to be cleaned up, the debris that still exists. The Mississippi River, it's just, the current there is just extraordinary. Access to the island and those homes on it has been completely shut down, both roads at this point. But I do believe that the cost of cleanup, the cost of mitigation is going to exceed what it needs to see for federal assistance. And don't forget, I've got Dakota and Scott County in the district too, and I've got issues in both of those counties as well. I've asked for all 5 of my counties to be included, and I'm headed out to Scott today. We're going to go to Valley Fair in Shakopee, spend some time looking. It's still open, so I want to be clear. We've got some rides shut down, a few rides, but also the city of Savage, and probably we've got some flooding there, but probably the most important thing happening is something we're not talking about besides the homes that have been impacted, and that is the Minnesota River and the Mississippi River port system. So those barges can't get in and out, and that's going to create some economic damage that we're all going to be still recovering from.
Yeah, they're not operating right now, so what's the forecast for when they will be?
The last time I had data was a couple days ago, but they're expecting sort of July 11th, 12th. That would be back up to speed. As we talked about before we came on the air, we're expecting a little bit of rain here, but we do think that the river has crested at this point, and hopefully we'll start to recover from here. But it's been a tough few weeks in Minnesota, and of course this is on top of 3 years of drought. So we're just seeing this extreme weather every single summer in Minnesota at this point.
As the folks that are directly impacted, as you mentioned, they're flooded homes, businesses, things like that, as they have to kind of exercise some more patience as they wait for some of these benefits from FEMA to kick in, what would you advise the rest of us to do? Because some of us in the metro, we're not seeing flooding in our immediate neighbors. How can we help when we're kind of feeling helpless looking at some of these images?
Well, go to LeSueur's website if you want to go bag some sandbags. I mean, I know they still got that operation down there, that we've got some homes still. The other thing I would say is I've seen a few folks coming out to sort of look at the flooded areas. That takes up resource for law enforcement, for fire services, and we get a bunch of people who just kind of want to go look at it. So just be respectful in that way a little bit. And just, we need to be there for our neighbors when they need us. They'll tell us when they need us, and just keep that in mind. And at the end of the day, we're going to get through this. We're Minnesotans. We always step up and help each other. But the federal government is going to be there to provide assistance. And for those homeowners, for those business owners, keep every single receipt. It's really important. As FEMA declares a disaster, there could be a presidential disaster declaration. Every single one of those receipts really matters.
All right, Representative Angie Craig, thank you. We're out of time, but we know there's a lot more to discuss, so we'll be in touch in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.